Man, ever since the pandemic, man, the birth of home producers has exploded. And in the midst of the explosion that we had, it really set forth a new precedent in how we make music. And so one of the main things when it comes to music is making sure that you get a good mix and a master. Because if you don't have a good mix and a master, then there's really no way to make good music if you can't get a mix and a master. But what happens is in a home studio, a lot of times there's not the best acoustics. It's like a big deal. And a lot of times in the home producers, they don't have a room where they can play music out loud sometimes. So what that does is that it shifts us to mixing and mastering in headphones. And when we do that, depending on the headphones that you have, depending on if they're flat, if they're too much bass, too much highs, that means that your mix will be off because you need a flat surface when it comes down to mixing your sound, mastering your sound to release to the world. And so depending on your headphones will determine how that sound. And so I have wrestled with this because you do a mix, you play it in the car and it does not sound the same. And you don't understand why. And then there's people that'll tell you, oh, mix with it low so your ears don't get tired, which is true. That is a very true statement. But it still depends on the headphones that you have and depends on if they are flat. Sometimes they would tell you to mix with open back headphones, which is a good thing also. But it has its thing depending on the headphones. So what I did was I came across something that is very detrimental to the home producer and any producer that's mixing and mastering, depending on your setup. And that is Sonarworks SoundID Reference. Let's check this out, man. Now, if I throw words at you like calibrate and measure and distance and all those different words like that, probably wouldn't make sense unless you're using something like this. Now, what this is that this is a measuring tool. It flattens the sound based on the headphones that you have. And it's a real unique deal that I think is beautiful for a home producer that mixes through their headphones. And what I want to show you is some different things of how this works and how this is very, very important to the home producer. Now, as we see here, what we're looking at is this is SoundID Reference. This graph right here is basically showing that I have a flat target here. Now, before we get deep into this, there's three things that I want you to kind of pay attention to when you're mixing. Number one is your levels. Is everything level? Does it sound good in the mix itself? Second thing we're going to talk about is EQ and frequencies. How does everything fit frequency-wise? Your bass, your highs, your mids. Where does your kick fit? Where does your snare fit? Where does your hi-hats fit? Where does that synth fit? Where does those pianos fit? Where does the pads fit? You have to always be thinking about these different things when you come down to mixing and mastering. And which brings me to the third point, which is space. How are you gonna fit all of these different things into this one song and it sounds good together? There's techniques, panning left to right, taking your frequencies and making them fit based on the instrument itself. All these different things. I'm not a mixer. I'm not a mastering expert. I'm not an engineer, but I've learned a couple things over the years. So what I want to show you now with the SoundID Reference is really not about all of that, but it is about getting a good sound when you are getting ready to do that. Like I said before, based on your headphones that you have. So let's check this out. All right, so now that we're looking at SoundID Reference, let's take a look at some of the main points of this thing. First of all, it's very well put together. You have your calibration enabled button here. This is an on and off switch here. Here's your levels, your in and outs. But the main thing that shines with this is, especially for the headphones, you can dial in your particular headphones themselves, and there is a big list that they have here of calibration. And so what we'll do here, we're gonna go from this new preset. I have mine already in, but I'll just kind of show you how to do it. You go up here to your calibration profile. You're going to be checking on either new headphones or new speakers. We're gonna talk about headphones because the speaker, there's another piece that is added to that puzzle that I don't have right now. So we're just gonna go with the headphones. This is just home producers. We're gonna click here, and now that you see this list of headphones that you have. And so you just choose by the name. So I have the Sennheisers, and so now I'm gonna click here. I have the HD2 Pro, 200 Pro, and I would click here and add those to the list. Sometime they would have not wired or whatever the case may be, depending on the headphones, right? And then I would just hit yes and continue. Now, when that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Once you're done, you will see it here. And what this is gonna do is gonna show where the calibration is based on those headphones. And so if I wanted a flat sound, I can come here, get flat. If I wanted the Dolby, I can do that. Now, the main thing I want you to know is that this is just not for mixing. You can't use, it's mainly made for mixing. Let me not say it like that. It's mainly made for mixing, but there's other presets that you can set up for other experiences. So if you're watching a movie or something like that in your headphones, or you're watching a video or anything like that, you can actually change this to sound the way you want it to sound for that specifically, based on the settings that it has here, based on how your headphones are set up sound wise. So you could do it like that. And so what I want to do is I want to show how this actually works with your DAW. This works just like a plug-in. You put it in, it's like an effect, right? So what I'm going to do is play this track, and then I'm going to add to the master to get my levels and everything right. So here we go. Now, as you can see here, this is the level that it's at right now. And you can hear that level coming through the system. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. This is my master channel, right? And on my master channel, I'm going to go ahead to Sonarworks, and I'm going to choose the SoundID here. And when I choose that, you'll notice it's already calibrated for a flat target. And now you hear a difference in the levels and all of that based on my headphones. So I'll play that. So now if you notice, it plays it lower, right? Remember, mixing, you want to listen at a lower volume. But what this does is that it's going to add the calibration based on my Sennheisers, and it's going to calibrate it based on that. And now when I'm hearing the track itself is going to be playing based on the calibration that it gave me for this flat target. So now when I mix, I'm going to be hearing a true flat target based on the headphones that I have. It has calibrated it and taken care of all of that work for me. Now, I would like to note also that there's another version of this if you have like a studio like mine. My room is not treated at all right now. I have some little stuff in here. As you can see, I have like some just some little foam in here. It's cheap foam. It'll be coming down pretty soon. But anyway, there is a little, I want to say like a microphone that they have if you want to do the version, and it has you to calibrate based on the room that you have, based on your room. It does the same exact thing like the headphones, but they do it in the room instead of the headphones. And you basically put it up to your speakers. It's calibrating based on the area, and it gives you the perfect calibration. If you want to add flat, you can add that flat so you can get a proper mix to your song. Now, I just want to say that this video is not sponsored by Sonar or anything like that. I do have a link in the description that if you do purchase, it goes to the channel. I do have an affiliate link, but this is not a sponsored video. If you noticed earlier, I'm still on the trial. I'm like in the last couple of days of the trial. They do have a trial period that you can try it out, see if it's something that works for you. I'm a big fan of trials because I want to try to see if it's something that I would actually use. Anytime I bring something to this channel, it's something that I like to use myself. So it'll definitely be some different things like that, but this is one that I am going to invest in. It is perfect. It definitely helped. I have mixed 2 tracks with this, and it works perfect. I mean, it's very good at what it does, and you get good sound based on, like I said again, your headphones, and that's just beautiful because every headphone is not made the same. And so if you get it calibrated, then you have these targets that you can hit, which is perfect. All right, man, now that you've seen it, man, make sure you go download it. The link is in the description. Make sure you go get that baby, man. It's like $100. It's not anything really expensive, but if you are mixing and mastering in your own home, maybe you're a producer, you're just making beats, you put them up on the beat sites and different things like that, this is perfect for what you're trying to do to get your mixes and your masters perfect for uploading, man. You gotta have it. You gotta have it anyway. So my question to you is, what will you do with your creative spaces, man? Peace out.